Hi everyone, this is Ty Williams here. I'm supposed to do a video on Bayley Deserves Better video on the disrespect that she received with WWE on WrestleMania 37. And I know I'm late on this, but however, I have to talk about this. Recently, I watched WrestleMania 37, and I like night 1, but night 2 is just like a dragger for me. I didn't like WrestleMania 37 night 2 whatsoever. But one thing that sticks out on WrestleMania 37 is the segment of Bayley, the Bella Twins, Hulk Hogan, and Titus O'Neil. And the reason why it stands out to me is because you got Bayley, who all about woman empowerment, all about wrestling, all about bringing different types of women together and to build established woman division. And even she busted her butt on this pandemic. When Becky Lynch was out for her pregnancy, Bayley stepped in. Not only Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Asuka. Those three stepped in and stepped up on the women's division in WWE. And you see it right here. You see the tweets right here. People say the same thing that I said. And it's a shame that we have WWE claiming that they're not sexist. However, their actions speak louder than words. And yet I'm going to throw the sexist in here because you have the Bella Twins. I'm not trying to be disrespectful toward the Bella Twins. I'm being honest. You have the Bella Twins, who was a Hall of Famer, retired from wrestling, look like I don't know what. They embarrassed Bayley in front of everyone in WrestleMania 7. However, they get booed in the end. And the reason why the Bella Twins get booed is because we all say the same thing about the Bella Twins. The Bella Twins I'm trying to be careful here. The Bella Twins use their sex and sex appeal to get what they want. Plain and simple. If they was not in a relationship with Daniel Bryan or John Cena, they would be not as popular. Even a reality TV show. So I'm just keeping it 100. And it's sad that Bayley had to be treated like she is nothing. And despite she busted her butt to make the women's division more interesting and more popping. And speaking of the level of disrespect, not only on Bayley, but Mickie James. I gotta talk about how a WWE employee sent Mickie James this garbage bag. after Mickie James was released from the company. That is so disrespectful for this employee. Yeah, and this employee is fired, by the way. Thank God. That was very disrespectful. And for Mickie James, the classiest woman she is, she kept her head high and doesn't let WWE phase her. And she was speaking lots of truth that WWE treat women disrespectfully, especially women who could wrestle, who's a solid worker, who do a lot of amazing things in the company, but still they get disrespect on. And now you have Stephanie McMahon and Triple H apologizing to Mickie James about that. And I understand why Triple H and Stephanie McMahon apologize, because people don't understand, people don't know actually, that Mickie James stepped up when Trish Stratus got pregnant. Trish Stratus supposed to face Asuka on TakeOver Toronto. And Trish Stratus couldn't do it because she's pregnant. Mickie James stepped in to fill the spot for Trish Stratus to face Asuka. And I'm telling you, the match between Asuka versus Mickie James is one of the best match for tonight. One of the best matches. And not only that, WWE take Mickie James after the match between her and Asuka. Mickie James went up to the main roster. She helped Alexa Bliss and other talents. Even she befriended Ronda Rousey. And for WWE or Vince McMahon, I'm not gonna say Vince because I don't know, but I feel that it's something about WWE that doesn't value women, doesn't respect women of their talents, and not only their talents, but what they bring to the table. It's kind of like women doesn't supposed to be in WWE and they're supposed to be in wrestling because it's a man-made sport or a male-dominated sport. And so for WWE to not only to do that to Mickie James, but they did it to Bayley too. And I see a pattern to it too. Like if you look at like Gail Kim was saying stories how WWE was treating her. Then you have Jillian Hall said the same thing too. You have Melina, Victoria. Victoria was blackballed from WWE. Do you know that, right? For some reason, but now she got her moment in WrestleMania, and I'm glad for it. But it's still some sexism in WWE, and I'm glad that men like Triple H just step in, and I think he's the one that fired that employee that sent that garbage bag to Mickie James, because you know what? I don't know why that employee think it's cute to send a garbage bag towards Mickie James. Like, really? Like, what in that person's mind to think that it's... I'm not going to even go there. So, I'm glad that Triple H is being a man, being a real man as he is, and fire that loser and apologize. And I feel like Triple H is the future of wrestling. And I'm so happy that he handled that like a true gentleman, like a true G. So let's get into Charlotte Flair versus Dave Meltzer. In case you didn't know, Charlotte Flair versus Dave Meltzer caused a trend on Twitter. And I never see this coming. And as a psychic, like psychics, we see things coming, but not like in a whole different level. Like Charlotte is had enough with everybody. Like for real, like she doesn't care no more. Like Charlotte, and I cannot blame her. Like Charlotte, she is a working horse, and she is good what she does, and she tried her best to please everyone. And I feel like she just tired of people just dogging her name and talking bad about her. And Dave Meltzer felt her wrath because of it. So anyway, Dave Meltzer in his podcast was talking about Charlotte's makeover, how Charlotte Flair looked different, and talk about her, you know, like his view on women's like body or insecurity about their look. And Charlotte Flair snapped and went off on him on Twitter about like, how dare he? You see the tweets right here. And she was not happy of what Dave Meltzer was saying to her. And I feel she had the right to be upset. But however, I feel that Dave Meltzer doesn't know how to properly. I feel like sometimes Dave Meltzer say the most interesting things, but however, sometimes his views are very way off. Like some of these like comments right here of men who miss bodies all the time, how they look like, and he was trying to say that, like he's trying to say that the reason why women are very self-conscious with their bodies is because of what you see right now, like the body and self-esteem issue. And I'm going to say this. All women suffer from body disorders and low self-esteem issues and how they look. That's how we brought up as women. We are so self-conscious with how we look and how our bodies look. And Dave Meltzer try to say that, but he say it more like in a very nonchalant and disrespectful way. And he's not being disrespectful, it's just like the way he like, oh, she looked different, she this. And he doesn't realize that women are very highly sensitive when it comes to their looks and because of their body. Like, you never talk about a woman's look and a woman's body because they take it personally. And that's why so many high rate eating disorders and body dysmorphia. Like we see women are getting plastic surgery. You see women are trying to look good to make themselves feel good and things like that. And I feel that there is an issue in wrestling, and I agree with Dave Meltzer on women's wrestlers. What, like, okay, I'm saying this again. I'm trying to keep it more like center. There is a issue in our society of women trying to feel accepted and loved of who they are, like the color of their skin, their body shapes, how they look, the hair, everything. Because matter of fact, I would say people actually. I thought that it's a men thing, but I feel like it's people actually. I feel like people are so insecure about themselves, and they take their insecurity onto others. And I feel insecurity play a huge role on women's wrestling, but also in professional wrestling as well. Like, you have people on Twitter or people on social media talking about Chris Jericho is fat. Chris Jericho needs to lose weight. Why Chris Jericho is gaining weight? He should not be looking like that. And I'm like, really? Really? If Chris Jericho was a woman who is fat and who is a wrestler, we will be executed on social media. If Chris Jericho was a woman and we say that to him, we will be canceled on social media. And that's the truth, and that's the problem in social media. Like, people are just so into the looks, so into what a woman's supposed to be and look like, or a man what a man's supposed to look like. And right now we have to change for the better. As for Dave Meltzer, he needs to, because I understand what he was saying, and the way he said it was very disrespectful, but it's like he needs to learn how to be more detailed and more careful on what he should say in wrestling. So next, we got Hikaru Shida pole dancing, and Brandy, who comment on Hikaru Shida's page. And while I was like looking at the tweet, looking at Hikaru Shida and Brandy comment, I'm like, we in a Twilight Zone. We are in the Twilight Zone, and I love Hikaru Shida, and I don't know what's going on with her. The way they book her, I don't like how they book her. I heard lots of people is not feeling her booking, and she's multi-talented too, by the way. And I don't understand why she proceeds that way. Like, Hikaru Shida was a total badass when she was in Japan. Like, she was really badass, and for her to just pole dancing as her training misfit, and then you have Brandy, who is rumored to take over Kenny Omega created team for the women's division. Yes, I heard the rumor that Brandy Rose and Dustin Rhodes took over Kenny Omega position for the woman created team. In case you don't know. But for Brandy Rhodes to say that to Hikaru Shida, I just like shake my head, because like she is a soon-to-be mom, and saying that to Hikaru Shida, it give me a bit of a cringy reaction for me. It's like, you supposed to be representing on what women wrestling is supposed to be. I'm talking about Brandy. And for her to say that to another woman who is pole dancing, there's nothing wrong about pole dancing. It's just that you want men to respect women on their talent, on their being charismatic and being presentable, not this whole like image of women supposed to degrade themselves and to look a certain way that man can call them a whore and a slut, because I don't want that to happen towards Hikaru Shida, because Hikaru Shida is amazing talent. Like, people don't understand how good she is. Even if you watch the match between her and Tag Conti, oh, she's underrated. Tag Conti, the Brazilian chick that got released from WWE. Both women could work and got amazing talent. And you see Hikaru Shida doing all these crazy moves. It's like, that's the Hikaru Shida I love. Like, I love that Hikaru Shida. I love that strong martial arts chick that is badass, that Joshi style wrestling, that 90 Joshi style wrestling. Like, if you don't check Joshi style 90s wrestling, that is Hikaru Shida. And not only that, and that is Asuka. Like, Hikaru Shida is very hard hitting. She's very ruthless. She's not all about, look at me, I'm gorgeous, I'm pretty. No, she's all about whooping your ass. And I like that. That intensity, that sense of like a champion, a woman's champion. And for Brandy to say that to Hikaru Shida, I was like, okay, Brandy. That's the reason why the AEW women's division sucks. Because of you. And I say it. I don't care. So, like I said, this is Ty Williams. Good day. And goodbye.